Welcome to the City Current Show, powered by Hagen Botham Insurance and Financial Services.
This show focuses on sharing good news and powering the good in our community. Now here's your host, City Current CEO, Jeremy Park.
Welcome back to the City Current Show. I'm your host, Jeremy Park. We're always honored to bring you inspiring stories of individuals and organizations making a difference and powering the good. And we always love talking about business and philanthropy, and in this case, making giving easy to support nonprofits. That's why we're honored to have with us Pam Reynolds, CEO of TASC, which is the flagship entity of TCB Enterprise and celebrating its 50th anniversary. We also have Abby Schulz, Community Investment Administrator of the Family Office within TCB Enterprise. So, Pam and Abby, how are you two doing?
Doing great today, Jeremy. Thanks.
Great. Thanks for having us today.
Well, we have a lot of ground to cover when you talk about business, philanthropy, making giving easy, benefits, technology. So, Pam, let's go ahead and dive into TASC. As I mentioned, celebrating 50 years. So, give us some background, give us some history for TASC, and then we'll talk about TCB Enterprise.
Yeah, it's a big year for us, Jeremy. Our story obviously started 50 years ago with our founder, Don Rashke, who discovered an easy way for regular people, family farmers, small business owners, to be able to receive the tax advantage of benefits that larger employers were receiving. Since then, TASC has been an industry leader in third-party employee benefits services to offer employers of all sizes, from the smallest to the world's largest, to reduce their taxes, access valued employee benefits, and meet their benefit compliance regulations. Today, over 1 million individual employers across the nation take advantage of our innovative financial services solutions to help employers feel like benefits. Abby, you want to talk about TCB Enterprises?
Yes, thank you, Pam. TCB Enterprise is the family-owned business ecosystem founded and led by Dan and Patty Rashke, with operations spanning across from employee benefits administration like TASC, financial technology solutions, and payroll services.
So when you talk about all the different entities, there's a lot to dive into for sure. Let's bounce back with TASC. Dive in a little bit more into the mission, the platform, because technology plays a vital role in this. So talk a little bit more about TASC and what you all do, how the magic comes about.
Yeah, awesome. Our mission is to improve the health, wealth, and well-being of our customers, employees, and the community. So we've used our innovative financial service solutions to enable employers to be able to configure benefits that include benefit accounts, the ability to continue on benefits for some employees, and health and welfare compliance, all with one vendor, one platform, one mobile app, and one card to be able to access their benefits. It is a unique intersection between what TASC does as a business and our philanthropic mindset. So this year, Jeremy, we added a set of employee benefit offerings that are designed to enable employers to be able to afford their employees an opportunity to participate in several different types of charitable benefits. For employers to be able to do that, well, it allows their employees to become everyday philanthropists. And over 1 million people in our system can take advantage of philanthropic giving as a benefit with their employers and to make an impact in their community.
Drill down a little bit more on that side, because I think this is extremely fascinating, and this will bridge us over to Abby and a lot of the other philanthropic endeavors. But drill down a little bit on how that works.
Yeah, so what employers do is right next to their benefit accounts or their compliance related offerings with us, there's a set of employee benefits that are a variety of different types. One is maybe a 501c3 donor advised fund that they can offer their employees. Another one is saving for giving, maybe scholarship benefits or crisis benefits. So an employer can put a program like that in place that sits right next to all their different benefits that they offer their employees.
Yeah, so I think all of this, when you think about philanthropy, it's internal and external. It's taking care of your employees and also taking care of your communities. Carry that over into your world, Abby, because this is a lot of that interface, that philanthropic interface. So dive in a little deeper on your world and how all this comes about philanthropically for TCB Enterprise.
Yeah, I mean, what Jeremy, thank you so much. What Pam is really referring to is strategic philanthropy. It's a concept that's coined by Porter and Kramer called the convergence of interests. And the concept of convergence of interest is that the intersection where business and community reinforce each other versus competing with each other. So a great example is a company supports a local charity event. Sure, you could write a check because it aligns with their values or their employees' passions, but when you step up and sponsor, it's more than a donation. It's your brand showing up in the community, your employees seeing you live out your values, and the public connecting your name with impact. And that's where the business benefit and societal benefit come together. And TASC's give back benefits are a powerful example of this convergence of interests. It makes it simple for a company to integrate philanthropy into the workplace while also building culture and brand.
You all do a number of things to make it very easy for your employees to be engaged in the community, such as 40 hours of VTO, volunteer time off. Touch on some of those specific things that really do make it special, but also create a very unique culture.
Yeah, giving has always been intertwined with who we are. It's not something we've ever separated from the business. It's part of our culture. And as you mentioned, not only do we offer the 40 hours a year to volunteer, we also allocate corporate funding that employees can direct to nonprofits of their choice. So we're putting resources behind what matters most to them. And on top of that, we've built support systems like crisis funds, scholarships, disaster relief programs, because at TCB Enterprise, we believe caring for the community begins for caring with our employees. Externally, we've extended this further into the marketplace by giving nonprofits access to a package of our most valuable benefit accounts. It's called Small Office Solutions at no cost to them. And most recently, Dan and Patty Rashke, the owners of TCB Enterprise, their family foundation launched an innovative 10-year, $15 million commitment to United Way Dane County. And instead of a one-time donation, the structure is designed to cover the administrative costs of undesignated giving, so more dollars flow straight to the impact. We believe it's not just a gift, it's a partnership, and we hope it's a model that can be replicated to communities across the country.
So Pam, let's bounce it back on your end, because everything that we're talking about, you all are empowering your team with. And so you know the power of this. And now you're saying, okay, let's open up the floodgates and make this more accessible. And so touch on what you're already seeing. And you do work with one of the largest, we talk about the government entity too. Like there's a lot of pieces that you have some very large influence on in a good way to be able to really empower charitable giving at a very high level.
We do. To speak to a few of the trends that we're seeing in employee benefits right now, one of the things that we're watching is employers and employees being challenged by the continued cost of benefits and healthcare. So they're looking for ways to reduce their costs in a variety of different means. With healthcare costs growing 4 times faster than the rate of inflation, it's really a challenge for employers and employees. The other thing that is important is that employers are looking for ways to attract and retain top talent. And one of the things that they can use to do that is a philanthropic program. But employers are definitely looking at making decisions about their philanthropic endeavors. We're seeing more employers all the time forego an employer giving program. And frankly, even where they do offer a giving program, they are seeing a decline in employees choosing to participate in the employer giving program. So that's a challenge of a macro trend that we're certainly watching in giving. We're also looking at how employees view giving differently. So our employees are looking to give to causes, maybe not to a general fund, but to a specific cause with a charity. They're also expecting giving to be easy and to have tools to make that easier for them. Our platform is designed to help them with some of those decisions, but those are some of the trends that we're seeing right now in our industry.
Yeah, I think these are really important conversations because nonprofits rely so heavily on the dollars to fund their mission and also to the people power, the volunteers to be able to, lift. And so when you talk about, okay, giving is changing, well, that's a huge, gap for nonprofits. And so to your point, so much of it now is direct. So you would go to a group and learn about them, but now they're creating one-to-one relationships with the nonprofits and the individuals. So giving is becoming much more personal. And while that's a good thing, that's also a challenge in terms of, okay, how do you make sure that the dollars are there to be able to lift? So I think these are important conversations around both the changes in philanthropy, but also then how do you close that gap? How do you solve that challenge? And as you mentioned, technology, it needs to be easy, it needs to be simple, and it needs to be impactful. So talk about some of the things that you've seen on that side, because you've been with TASC for 25 years. Over that, a lot of obviously technological changes, but talk about how you are creating a much more simple, easy way and impactful way to give at an individual level.
Yeah, it all comes back to the expectation that people now have with using a technology solution or a vendor, frankly, that can do it all. So they're expecting whether it's an employer or an employee or an individual, frankly, are expecting to be able to use a technology that has a design that's a great user experience. It's easy to understand, and they're able to make decisions based on their particular needs and wants. So we're seeing employers look at well-being benefits, for instance. They're looking at how can they offer their employees benefits that are around mental health, for instance, might be focused on wellness programs. But more importantly, we're also seeing financial well-being. So employers are looking at how can they help their employees save for emergencies, or maybe they can help plan for retirement. But to round the employee out or to round the consumer out, then philanthropy comes into the mix. The technology platform, ours for instance, can provide our consumers access to 1.9 million charitable organizations, and they can take their funds with the click of a button, Jeremy, and donate to a cause that they care about when they want to make those donations.
Touch on one of your biggest customers.
Yeah, our largest customer is the federal government. TASC has been given the opportunity through the Give Back Foundation to provide the technology solution to help the federal government's giving program, where the federal employees are able to make decisions on where they want to donate their funds and track their volunteer time at the same time through our platform. We're really proud of our relationship with the federal government and the impact that the CFC has had on organizations for many, many years in the philanthropic space, Jeremy.
Yeah, absolutely. Abby, what does all this mean to you in terms of opportunities? And where I'm going with this is words of encouragement for other businesses, but what does this mean to you? And then what would your words of encouragement be for other businesses?
Well, just me personally, Jeremy, and I think a lot of my coworkers would agree, is it's waking up and going to work with purpose. A lot of these opportunities we might not be able to carry individually, but for a great example, Dan and Patty Rashke, they intend to give it all the way in the end. So being part of that legacy and carrying their vision forward is really rewarding and personally something I'm grateful for. But that's what works for our company. And my words of encouragement or advice is start with something that's realistic. You don't have to launch a big program in just one day. Even small steps can make a huge difference. And it's important to create opportunities for employees to give and be part of something bigger, like I mentioned, that we get to be a part of. And research shows that when people give, they're happier, they're more engaged, they're more productive. And so for the bottom line, it's really good for your company. So it's not only just doing good for the community, but it's good for your business too. The key is just to start and then let it grow.
Absolutely. Pam, what would your words of encouragement be coming off of that when you talk about, getting started, but ultimately the power of what it can mean for your employees, your business, your communities? What are you already seeing with your team, and what would your words of encouragement be for other corporate leaders?
Yeah, so I concur with Abby. Make a small step to make a large impact over time. Also, don't feel like you need to go alone on the journey of philanthropy and how to engage your employees in their local community. There's a lot of organizations that are out there in the charitable space, but even organizations like TASC that can help employers design a program that's a good fit for them. I love the fact that Abby talked about it's good for employees. We know the data shows people are happier when they give. They're more productive in the workplace when they choose to give, and they certainly make an impact in the communities in which they live. So we strongly encourage employers to just start giving.
So where can employers go to learn more about TASC? Where can we go to learn more about TCB Enterprise?
Great. Well, I'm going to direct you to our website, www.tasconline.com. That's TASCONLINE.com. Or certainly give us a call, 1-800-422-4661. We'd be happy to chat.
Well, that makes it easy. Pam, Abby, thank you for all you and your amazing teams do to power the good. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thanks, Jeremy.
Thanks, Jeremy. Have a great day.